The jacaranda trees were heavy with their purple November bloom. The radio played Piazzolla as I packed my only room. The military bulletin was reading names of islands far away. Malvinas, Malvinas was all the radio would say. My mother ironed my collar with the iron steady press. She didn't look up at me, she just smoothed away the crease. La última noche en Buenos Aires, the purple trees in bloom. La última noche en Buenos Aires, I walked out of my room, and I thought I'd return in winter when the jacaranda was bare. La última noche en Buenos Aires, I left everything there. The cafe on Corrientes Avenue was playing the old songs. The bandoneon was crying out the melody that belongs to every man who ever left this city in the night. The bandoneon was crying everything would be alright. The neighbors didn't ask me why my suitcase was so light. In 1982 in Buenos Aires, everyone knew the night. La última noche en Buenos Aires, the purple trees in bloom. La última noche en Buenos Aires, I walked out of my room, and I thought I'd return in winter when the jacaranda was bare. La última noche en Buenos Aires, I left everything there. Crossed the Rio de la Plata on a boat in the early gray. The river was white and silver, and the city fell away. I watched the lights of Buenos Aires until they disappeared. La última noche en Buenos Aires was everything I feared. La última noche en Buenos Aires, my mother fixed my hair. La última noche en Buenos Aires, I left my whole life there. I've lived through 40 autumns in a city not my own. Madrid in November has a gray I've always known. But it's not the gray of Buenos Aires. That gray had a different weight. The gray of Corrientes Avenue at 28. My children speak Castilian, like Madrid was always theirs. They've never heard the porteño accent. Nobody in my house wears the way of speaking Buenos Aires, the speed, the particular song. 40 años in Madrid, and I still don't belong. 40 años de otoño in a country not my birth. 40 años de otoño learning what a life is worth. I make the asado on Sundays. The neighbors smell the smoke. 40 años de otoño, and the exile never broke. I cook the chimichurri from the recipe my mother wrote on a card I've nearly destroyed from reading it by rote. The smell of oregano and parsley, the garlic and the oil. 40 años de otoño, and that smell is still my soil. My wife says I go quiet when November starts to turn. She knows when the jacaranda in Buenos Aires starts to burn with its purple November fire, the fire she's never seen. 40 años de otoño, and that purple lives in me. 40 años de otoño in a country not my birth. 40 años de otoño learning what a life is worth. I don't want my children's pity. I don't want them to carry weight. I chose this life completely, even when it came too late. But sometimes in the asado smoke, between one breath and one, I am back on Corrientes Avenue before all this began. 40 años de otoño, and I'm grateful for each one. 40 años de otoño under a different sun. There's a street in San Telmo where the cobblestones still hold the shape of every Sunday in the stories that I've told. The almacén on the corner, the smell of fresh facturas, the old men playing truco in the late afternoon, the bandoneon from the window above the barber shop. La calle donde nací is where my memories stop and start again each evening when the Buenos Aires night falls over every version of myself before the flight. La calle donde nací is still inside my hands. La calle donde nací is where I understand every version of myself before the world grew wide. La calle donde nací is permanently inside. My grandson typed it in Google on his little screen. The same street still existing like it always should have been. But pixels cannot carry the smell of evening air, the sound of neighborhood bandoneons playing tangos everywhere, the particular weight of the air before the summer storms. La calle donde nací has its own particular forms that no photograph can hold, that no map can replicate. La calle donde nací is where I locate every compass of myself in this city not my own. La calle donde nací will always be my home. La calle donde nací is still inside my hands. La calle donde nací is where I understand. I will die in this country and be buried in its earth, but part of me will always walk the street that gave me birth. In the San Telmo evening, with the bandoneon above, la calle donde nací is made of nothing but love. La calle donde nací, I'll never walk again. La calle donde nací still lives inside me then.
The last thing that I felt before the border and the night was my mother's hands upon my collar, making everything feel right. She had pressed my white shirt slowly with the iron in the heat. The radio said Malvinas from its place beside the street. She didn't speak about the generals, she didn't speak of fear. She just pressed my collar carefully and kept her hands from tears. Las manos de mi madre are the last thing that I felt. Las manos de mi madre before the cards were dealt. I have been searching for that warmth in every place I've lived. Las manos de mi madre were the greatest gift she gave. She died in '97. The telephone told me in the night. I was in the Madrid apartment where the ceiling is too wide. The borders were still complicated for a man with my past name. I could not return to Buenos Aires. My mother died the same. The same November she always knew, the jacaranda in its bloom. Las manos de mi madre are still pressing in my room. Las manos de mi madre are the last thing that I felt. Las manos de mi madre before the cards were dealt. When they finally opened everything, I stood beside her grave. The jacaranda was November purple, the same color she gave to everything she ever touched, to every year she stayed. Las manos de mi madre never were afraid. Las manos de mi madre fixed my color in the night. Las manos de mi madre made everything feel right.
In Madrid in November, the trees are mostly bare. I look up at the gray sky for something that's not there. For 40 years in November, I look up and I find only European autumn, not the purple left behind. In Buenos Aires in November, the jacaranda explodes. Purple over Palermo, purple over all the roads, purple over Recoleta, purple over San Telmo too. Jacaranda, jacaranda, I left you when I flew. Jacaranda, jacaranda, purple in the avenue. Jacaranda, jacaranda, everything I knew was underneath that purple. Every Sunday of my youth, jacaranda, jacaranda, you were my first truth. My daughter came home with flowers, deep purple from the shop. She said she saw them and just felt she had to make me stop. Whatever it was I was doing, in my silence at the table, she brought me purple flowers, the best thing she was able to do for her quiet father, who went somewhere in his eyes. Jacaranda, jacaranda, under different skies. Jacaranda, jacaranda, purple in the avenue. Jacaranda, jacaranda, everything I knew. They
takes my breath somehow. Jacaranda, jacaranda, still blooming in my chest. Jacaranda, jacaranda, my Buenos Aires West.
On the last Friday of every month, the bar in Lavapiés plays tango. I sit alone at my table and I let the bandoneon go into all the places in my body where Buenos Aires still lives. The tango knows exactly where the exile gives. In 1982 in Buenos Aires, the tango was resistance. We danced it in the milongas with the generals at a distance. We danced with our whole bodies what our mouths could not say. El tango que sé was how we got through every day. El tango que sé is in my body still. El tango que sé no exile could distill. When the bandoneon begins, my feet remember where they're from. El tango que sé is where I still come from. I danced at my son's wedding to a piazzolla from before. Libertango in the key of exile. The guests had never heard it before. My son had never danced it, but he felt it in the floor. The tango traveling upward through everything his body wore. The guests from Madrid were watching a man become someone else. El tango que sé returns me to myself. El tango que sé is in my body still. El tango que sé no exile could distill. My grandchildren watch me carefully when the music starts to play. They see their grandfather disappear into some other day. Someone young and someone fearless, someone from another street. El tango que sé makes everything complete. El tango que sé lives where I was born. El tango que sé was never to be torn. Every month for 40 years I wrote to Buenos Aires, not to any person, just to the city and its layers. I wrote about the seasons in this country, not my own. I wrote about my children's Spanish way they'd grown. I wrote about the asado smoke that rose from our balcony, cartas al océano that the city couldn't see. Cartas al océano were all that I could share. Cartas al océano, proof that I was there. Each letter a small survival, each letter a piece of home. Cartas al océano, so I was not alone. My sister wrote back carefully, the censors read it all. She wrote in careful language that told me nothing at all. She said the weather had been strange. She said the family was fine. She wrote the coded language between every single line, that Eduardo had not come back from wherever they had gone. Cartas al océano, the silence carried on. Cartas al océano were all that I could share. Cartas al océano, proof that I was there. My sister died last winter. I flew back for the first time. I stood outside our old house in the Buenos Aires sunshine. The jacaranda was not blooming. It was June and winter bare, but I could smell it everywhere, the purple in the cold air. Cartas al océano were all that we could share. Cartas al océano, I felt her everywhere. When my son was born in Madrid, in the winter of '79, my wife said choose a Spanish name. I reached back across the line into the Rio de la Plata, wide and brown and free. I named my son after the river that named itself for me. Rio de la Plata, silver river that separates two lands. I named my son after the river. I held him in my hands and whispered Buenos Aires into his small ear. El nombre del río is why I'm still here. El nombre del río
el nombre del río. Behind the closing gates, he asked me when he was older about the name he wore. I took out all the photographs and spread them on the floor. The house on Calle Florida, the asado in the yard, the jacaranda in November. The story's growing hard to tell without the trembling in the voice that names the street. El nombre del río made my exile complete. El nombre del río, he's never seen it flow. El nombre del río, the only thing I know. He went to Buenos Aires at 23 alone. He called me from the waterfront, said, "Papa, come home." I wasn't ready then, too much river under years. El nombre del río still moves me still to tears. El nombre del río. He finally saw it wide. El nombre del río now carries me inside.
Eduardo Gomez was my friend from the university in '76. We used to argue about Borges and the politics and the fix, that Argentina was always in, the generals and the church, los desaparecidos were the people in the lurch. He disappeared on a Tuesday in the month of August dark. They came for him at 5 a.m. before the morning park, before the jacaranda had opened, before the light could start. Los desaparecidos left a hole inside my heart. Los desaparecidos still walking in the square. Los desaparecidos, their mothers still are there. Every Thursday at the plaza, with their white scarves and their names. Los desaparecidos are the people bearing flames. From Madrid I watch the mothers on my small television screen, walking every Thursday in the places they had been. Their children's names in photographs around their necks in the air. Los desaparecidos were everywhere. When democracy returned and Alfonsine came in,
kept on walking in the rain and in the wind, because 30,000 missing don't return when trials begin. Los desaparecidos are still beneath the skin. Los desaparecidos still walking in the square. Los desaparecidos, their mothers still are there. I carry Eduardo with me in the way I pour my wine, in the way I argue Borges, in the poetry and the line. He was 22 forever, in a world that threw him out. Los desaparecidos are what this song's about. Los desaparecidos, I say Eduardo's name. Los desaparecidos, the world must hold their claim.
One change of clothes, my father's wristwatch, a photograph of Calle Florida in 1974, the recipe for locro in my mother's handwriting, on a card already worn from 20 years of fighting to keep the recipe legible. The card is almost gone. Lo que traje conmigo, what I carried on. The words to Volver, the Gardel song my father sang. Lo que traje conmigo before the exile rang. Lo que traje conmigo was lighter than a stone. Lo que traje conmigo was everything I'd known. A language and a recipe, the way to say goodnight. Lo que traje conmigo was Buenos Aires light. What I didn't bring was just as clear. I didn't bring my certainty, I didn't bring no fear. I left my arrogance behind, that I would change the world. Lo que traje conmigo had everything unfurled. But I make the locro on Sundays in the Madrid apartment small, and the smell brings the whole city right into the hall, into the narrow hallway between the kitchen and the room. Lo que traje conmigo still carries the perfume. Lo que traje conmigo was lighter than a stone. Lo que traje conmigo was everything I'd known. My children ask me sometimes,
I put the low-pro on the stove and I let them smell the air of a city they have never seen, of a life before their time. Lo que traje conmigo was theirs as much as mine. Lo que traje conmigo I still carry with grace. Lo que traje conmigo found a permanent place.
The generals called it a recovery of what was always ours. The crowds were in the plaza in the April midnight hours. I was packing my suitcase in my room on Corrientes. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, on every radio's frequency. The boys who went to fight there were 18 years of age. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas was the final desperate page of a regime without a future that sent children to a war. 300 came back in boxes. What were they fighting for? Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, that autumn of '82. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, and everything fell through. The war that was supposed to unite us became the war that ended them. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, left nothing to condemn but silence and the names. From Madrid I watched the generals surrender on the screen. I watched the boys come home again to what democracy could mean. Alfonsine spoke of justice. The generals went to trial, but 300 boys were buried in those islands for a while. And Eduardo never came back from a different kind of war. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, what were any of us for? Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, that autumn of '82. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, and everything fell through. I was crossing the river the night the islands fell. I was already in Uruguay, and I could hear the bell of the Buenos Aires cathedral ringing for the dead. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, that's what the river said. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, I was leaving when they fell. Las Malvinas, Las Malvinas, had their own story to tell.
From the gourd my mother gave, I carried it across the river. From the life I tried to save, the yerba comes by post now, from a shop in Lavapiés, a Uruguayan brand, not Argentine, but it's the closest thing. The ritual is unchanged, the water at 80 degrees, the first bitter sip of morning, and Buenos Aires breathes into this Madrid apartment, through the gourd and through the straw. Mate en la mañana is the city without flaw. Mate en la mañana is my Buenos Aires still. Mate en la mañana, the ritual that will fill every empty morning in a city not my own. Mate en la mañana makes every place a home. My Spanish neighbors watch me the first years with curious eyes, a man drinking through a metal straw under cold Madrid skies. Now they knock on Sunday mornings, they want to know the way. Mate en la mañana has become our Sunday, a small ritual of belonging across the boundary of place. Mate en la mañana puts home upon my face. Mate en la mañana is my Buenos Aires still. Mate en la mañana, the ritual that will fill. When my grandchildren visit, I make them learn the way to pass the gourd correctly at the start of every day. They complain about the bitterness, they ask why I insist. Mate en la mañana is the life that I have missed, but also the life I'm living in the gap between the two. Mate en la mañana carries both me and you. Mate en la mañana, my last piece of there. Mate en la mañana, Buenos Aires in the air. In 2006 I went back for the first time in 24 years. My son was beside me on the plane, I couldn't show him all my tears. We landed at Ezeiza in the Buenos Aires dawn. The smell of the air was exactly what I had been living on. In my memory for all the years, the particular weight and heat. Volví, volví, the city at my feet. The taxi on the autopista, the skyline in the haze. Volví, volví, after all those days. Volví, volví, to
Buenos Aires was still here. I stood outside my mother's house. A family lived there now. Children in the front courtyard under the jacaranda bough. The tree was there still growing, 40 years of purple bloom. Volví, volví, but not to my old room. My son watched me carefully. He saw me become young. He saw his father disappear into the street he'd come from. I showed him all the places, the café, the almacén. Volví, volví, and I was young again. Volví, volví to the street of my beginning. Volví, volví, the city was still winning. At the Plaza de Mayo, we stood in the evening light. The mothers were still walking on their Thursday in the night. Some of them old now, some of them with grandchildren there. Volví, volví, and justice was still in the air. Volví, volví, and everything was there. Volví, volví, Buenos Aires in the air. I wrote a letter every month for 40 years to the city. I wrote it on a Sunday with a mate and without pity. For myself or for the absence, or for the life I led. La carta sin enviar goes on until I'm dead. I told the city everything, the way you tell a friend. La carta sin enviar has 40 years to lend. Of seasons not in Buenos Aires, of children born in Spain. La carta sin enviar knows every kind of rain. La carta sin enviar is 40 volumes long. La carta sin enviar is where I still belong. Every street and smell and color, every face I used to know. La carta sin enviar is all I couldn't show. My daughter found the journals, 40 notebooks in a box. She called me from the hallway, she was crying in her socks. She said, Papa, I never knew you had this whole life inside. La carta sin enviar was where I always hide. She read them all that weekend, 40 years and 40 books. La carta sin enviar is all the life it took to make me who I am here, a man with two complete. La carta sin enviar makes me feel replete.
La carta sin enviar is 40 volumes long. La carta sin enviar is where I still belong. I should have shown them earlier what Buenos Aires meant. All those Sunday asados, all those years I spent looking at the photographs, playing Gardel on the old machine. La carta sin enviar held everything between. La carta sin enviar is the truest thing I wrote. La carta sin enviar is every word I spoke.
It took me 40 years to say these words out loud. Buenos Aires, te perdono for the fear inside the crowd, for the generals and the silence, for the neighbors who looked away, for the Tuesday that took Eduardo and the price we all must pay. You are not the ones who did this, that was someone else's hand. Buenos Aires, te perdono, you were just my land.
Buenos Aires, te perdono
for the danger and the fear.
Buenos Aires, te perdono
for the 40 absent years.
You are not the one who drove me out,
that was someone else's hand.
Buenos Aires, te perdono,
you were just my land. I forgive the broken decade that made exile of my name. I forgive the fear I carried like a low and constant flame.
I forgive the years of mate,
drunk in a foreign chair.
I forgive the jacaranda
that I only knew in prayer. And in the purple flowers my daughter bought in spring, Buenos Aires, te perdono for everything.
Buenos Aires, te perdono
for the danger and the fear.
Buenos Aires, te perdono
for the 40 absent years.
Now that I am older
and the generals are in jail,
and democracy
has settled, and the plaza mothers prevail, I walk your streets in memory every single night. Buenos Aires, te perdono, you were always my birthright.
Buenos Aires, te perdono,
the jacaranda is in bloom.
Buenos Aires, te perdono,
I am
perdono. You were always here.